Okay, we're 3 minutes in. We just get started. So I think I see two names I haven't seen. So I don't know if they're completely new, but maybe Sander, or I don't know how the name is pronounced. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, you got it right. I'm sorry. I tried to turn my camera on, but it is not cooperating today. Hello, everyone. I'm Xander. I know several of you on this call. It's my first time joining this one. I work on open source at Microsoft, and I've been fairly involved in several Kubernetes SIGs, including contributor experience, and just looking to kind of expand that a little bit, and figured this would be a good place to get involved. So happy to see some familiar faces and happy to be here.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to this meeting. And then Yiga, I think, if I got that right. If you're introducing yourself, you're mute. You don't have to, though. You can also use the chat.
Hi, so sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. My name is Yiga, and I'm a project manager and a DI, accessibility person. I did see a link to join CNCF, but I think I'm a bit confused about which group it is. It's a lot of meetings when I copied it to my calendar, so I think I'll just listen in, or if I can be directed to like the right place to, yeah. So I think the place I wanted to go to was the deaf and hard of hearing group. Yes. And
Yeah,
probably
so
like the one if there's something like that.
yeah, you're kind of right, because this is like the overarching group where the group, so the deaf and hard of hearing group is a subgroup of this group. So you'll see
right.
there will be some updates about that.
Okay.
But there is also a channel, deaf and hard of hearing channel on the Linkerd Slack, CNCF Slack. And so you can join that. And there are meetings, like monthly meetings. The next meeting is on the 27th. So
Awesome.
yeah, we're always
Thank
looking
you.
for new people to join the group. So happy to have you.
Awesome. Awesome. Happy to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, great. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think we should need to do like a whole round of introduction. I know sometimes we were like, but maybe
it's
like
fine.
just a, pardon me?
Oh, I was just like it's fine. It's really fine. I mean, unless everybody else wants to. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, maybe two people that Sander.
Oh, I think your mic might have cut off there, Catherine.
Does he know everyone? So if that, then I would introduce myself. It's like,
oh.
I don't know. So, well, let me just do it. So I'm Catherine Paganini. I'm one of the co-chairs of the TAG Contributor Strategy, and one of the initiatives that I'm leading and working on is the Deaf and Hard of Hearing initiative. And so, anyone else who? Let's just keep it up to.
I can go. Hi, I'm Nate W. I work with the CNCF as a developer advocate, and I do, in that capacity, I do both technical writing and I help run the mentoring program across the CNCF with the gracious help of several folks on this call. So if you've got any questions about mentorship or getting involved in either participating or helping people participate in those types of programs, I'm happy to help, happy to chat.
Okay, great. And so just, I would say let's just dive right into our agenda. So looks like we don't have any general talking points, just like updates from the working groups themselves. First one would be mentoring. So Nate, back to you.
Hello again. I'll try and keep it quick here. We are in the applications. We are accepting applications now for LFX 2024's first term here. We had 55 project proposals, which represents about 27 CNCF projects, and we have 81 mentors signed up. That's a lot. That is not a record, though. The most we've ever had is 57 projects, but we got real close to the record there. And then the other thing that's happening right now is Google Summer of Code. We are working with the community to bolster our org application. Normally, we have quite a few proposals by now, and Google just reached out to us and said, "Hey, would you please collect some more to help support your org application?" So I've put a call out on several channels to try and see if maintainers are interested in putting something together. Making it a little bit more complicated this time around, Google is particularly looking for AI or AI-related projects. Now, we don't, as a primary thing, we're cloud native, not AI. But if you're aware of anybody who is using AI as a part of the process for some of the work that they're doing in cloud, that would be of particular interest to us. So if you've got channels, we are looking for proposals by the end of day Friday. And I will put the link as to where to put that, open that PR against in the not in the chat here, in the
Agenda doc.
agenda. Thank you so much. That thing I'm thinking of. So the other thing about saying specifying the AI focused proposals, we aren't limiting it just to that, but that is going to be something that Google is looking at strongly this year. So, Ali, is there anything I'm missing for an update for mentoring?
Just a general thing. So we need more proposals by end of day Friday, but we will still accept proposals afterwards until March
That's the subtlety.
something. I don't remember the exact date. So if you miss this one, still you can send proposals.
Yeah, this is specifically in support of our application as an org. So more proposals can come in after this, but we need for Google to take us seriously, we need a few more proposals. So if you know maintainers, let them know we're looking.
Awesome. So
I can do a shout out for Nate for this morning. He is busy replicating himself over at the Confidential Computing Consortium. So he came over and consulted about how do you start an amazing thing like this somewhere else. So we'll be using him for that.
awesome. So if there are no more comments or questions, I think we can move to contributor growth.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about that because I facilitated that meeting.
Okay.
And so I think there may have been some other people here who were at that, and feel free to jump in if you were. So I'll finish putting in the bullet points here in a second. But it was a good, well-attended meeting. Kubesteller is a brand new sandbox project who came in, and we were able to connect them with a bunch of resources and advice. And I think there were some really interesting questions that came up, because one of the things that kind of came up was like, there are so many sandbox projects now that, you know, they were kind of going like, how do we get contributors? And they were like, do you have users? And they kind of went, no, we don't know if anybody knows about us. And so there's almost this element now of like, there are so many sandbox projects that it's like projects need marketing to a certain extent. But the marketing resources in the CNCF are for the companies, right, that are paying in to do sort of commercial marketing. And so not necessarily that we need to start adding projects to the marketing committee channel, but more like it would sort of raise this thing of like, what could we do to help projects self-promote, to a certain extent and build awareness so that they get people using, so that they can get people contributing. So awareness is becoming a bigger issue now that you can't just pop over to the CNCF site and see the 10 projects that are out there. Because now there's like, 10 tens. So we actually talked a little bit about Maintainer Circle that day, just because there was Andrew, who's be doing the next one, was there, and Josh was there, and then the other main like working group thing that more relevant thing that came up was the Knative UX. Someone came in representing Knative's UX's group. They were going to start a survey, and since they're relatively new, they were looking for what prior art exists on this. And since we did the tag survey and Kubernetes has done some research, although that research is a little older, they were going to get connected with some of the people who had done who'd done the Kubernetes stuff, get to see that data, maybe use that to build off of to build their survey. And so there was some good connecting points there as well. Any questions?
Okay, so
So the governance,
oops, go ahead.
are we done with contributor growth?
I thought so. Moving.
Okay.
to
So
governance.
governance, I am the one, yeah, Josh is not here, Dawn is not here. So first item is that we restarted working on the self-assessment template and the guide. So we were kind of stopping that work because there is this project moving levels initiative, and we were waiting for some outputs there. But now we thought maybe we can restart our work, and once that initiative delivers its artifact output, we can update our template and guide. So I restarted actually working on this. So the target here is that we will deliver a guide and a template, and before asking the governance working group for a governance review, projects will be able to do their self-assessment. So we also have some governance reviews in flight that Dawn and Josh is working on. And in the last governance working group meeting, we've seen interest. So somebody joined, and they were interested in starting another DEI initiative. So what we did is we explained the whole situation, like not situation, but the landscape, and we showed good examples of how to start such initiative based on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing initiative. And we really hope that something will come out from there.
Can you tell
That's
more
how
about
it
that
works.
idea? I'm curious. And also something just like it would be really great to call it DEIA, adding accessibility, because that's never really in most programs that's forgotten. So some people add the A, and I really like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so more details is, let me check actually the document.
Or just link to it and I can look at it, or we don't have, like, if you don't have it on top of your mind.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we're any questions, or should we move to Maintainer Circle? Which would be Dave again?
That's me again, yeah. Yeah, so we've got one scheduled for the 27th of this month. It's going to be Andrew Burden from KubeVirt, and Kirsten from Kube Enhancements. We're right now just working on the abstract for that. As soon as we have that, we're going to get it posted. But we're set for the day, and then I'm looking for topic suggestions and anyone who might be interested in speaking for April.
Okay, and if people are interested, just DM you directly, I would say probably, or
yeah, just hit me up in the
in the
CNCF Slack.
Slack.
Yeah. And for anyone who is not, because there's a couple new people here, so maintainer circles are non-recorded sessions where we get people in to talk about just like topics that may be of interest for maintainers. If you go to the GitHub for this tag, there's a subfolder with a whole README, and you can see past topics we've done and stuff, but it's basically like not so much a long talk as it is a, hey, here was our experience as maintainers, and then time for discussion among the people who show up to kind of get, you know, peer assistance and figure out like, oh, I've been having that problem too. Here's how we made some progress, or, you know, and just kind of sharing information. And maintainer here is looser than CNCF maintainer. It's not, you don't have to be on the official list for a project. It's more, are you involved in, you know, keeping a project going in code or non-code ways, and any of it is all good.
Awesome. Okay, and then now moving to the Deaf and Hard of Hearing working group. So today we're going to have the second Deaf and Cloud Native meetup. So that's a new meetup that is in sign language. And one thing that is really exciting is that the CNCF agreed to live stream it on LinkedIn. So that's not something that is usually done, but the goal is to really help raise awareness. And so people see that actually deaf people are part of our community. So that's really cool, because when people are on LinkedIn, suddenly they see, wow, they're signing people, and that that visibility is really important. So people kind of realize that accessibility is something that we need in our community. And then KubeCon, there's lots going on. I'm very excited that Anastasia, one of the co-organizers of the meetup, will be in a keynote panel. We also have a part-time kiosk. I added there the little graphic that we created. Also wanted to have like tag contributor strategy in it, so we can see like that it is part of that. We didn't have that branding before. Then we also, so we sign up for everything that's available basically, right? So we're going to do a Project Lightning talk. So Anastasia and Milad are going to do that. We need to submit that by February 22nd. We are also, so that's confirmed. We also submitted an open space discussion. Those are in the exhibit hall, I believe, waiting for confirmation. And we also suggested doing a booth crawl activity, because during the booth crawl, there are lots of different fun things to do. And we wanted to do like a sign language 101, like just like very casual and fun way of interacting with deaf people and kind of learning maybe like introductory words and how do you sign Kubernetes and things like that. So just like a fun way of interacting. And then we also are going to try to get PR opportunities. Of course, that's not up on us, right? We have to see like if media is really interested, but I'm working with Jesse from the CNCF PR team. We did get like an interview at the Rancher booth, so that I was able to secure already. And yeah, but let's see if we got lots of opportunities last time, so hopefully we'll get more. And then so KubeCon prep material. So we're working on a messaging doc. So we want to be a little bit more prepared than last time. We did get several interviews, but just to make sure that whenever someone is interviewed, they're sure they're kind of like touching up on the really, because like we want to make sure that a certain message comes across, like what is really important, like why this working group is important, what we're trying to achieve, and basically kind of like all agreeing and formulating how we talk about it will help so that the message stick, because we're all talking one voice. We're also working on best practices to interview deaf and hard of hearing individuals for media. So again, in the hopes that we're going to get media interviews. Also, I'm trying to identify opportunities for deaf and hard of hearing members to join talks, right? Like, so if you have a talk and have like availability, like a moderator or something, because the goal is really, sometimes it's also just to see like on stage, there is someone, again, it's like just being aware that people who are deaf or hard of hearing are part of our community, right? So that people see them in the hallway, on the stage, that's really important. And then I added this last one thing, because this is like really just brainstorming phase, but I was talking to a maintainer of a Helm maintainer, and the Helm has like this program to kind of guide people through the to a maintainer, like a triage maintainer, and then like potentially that could be a pathway for like a core maintainer. And he had like the idea to ask like if any of the deaf and hard of hearing people would be interested in doing that. And we're like thinking it would be great to maybe create like a pilot program, right? Like if you have a project that's willing to do that, and if you have a deaf or hard of hearing person willing to do that, and then like kind of like what does it look like? What accommodations would need to be done? And so because like once we have some people who are deaf and hard of hearing and in more in a maintainer role, so that will also be like they will be role models, other people will see it, will attract more people as well. So I'm really excited about that, but that's very initial. I just put that in there because I was really excited. Yeah, if that works out, I think that would be a really powerful thing in our community. And then that's it from me. Any questions? If not, I think we can move forward with Jeffrey.
Hello. It's been a while since I've been on one of these, so love seeing all y'all. We lovely CNCF folks have been running into some issues. There are multiple different places where we try to store what services we provide to projects, what policies we have around projects. They all wind up getting out of sync, and we think that's not great and feels bad. So one thing that we came up with was, if possible, and with y'all's support, putting a new section under contribute.cncf.io. That kind of seems like the right place for this because we already put a bunch of resources for projects under there. And this would be where we have a list of services that the CNCF provides. Also, policies and common tasks that maintainers kind of ask us about, like how do we update our affiliation for our emails, that sort of thing. As George put in there, there is a services for projects website under the CNCF, and it isn't updated, and it's bad. It's not poorly organized, it's just woefully out of date. So this is one idea that we had, and I see Emily already has a hand raised.
So I like this idea.
Hello, friend.
Hi. The point that I would like to stress here then is that we should be promoting contribute.cncf.io as the front door for contributors and project maintainers to come into CNCF, providing a central focus for them to navigate and understand how to engage with the community as a brand new maintainer. I think there's a lot more work that can happen with contribute.cncf.io, but I think providing those services for projects in a very well understood manner with directions on where they should be filing issues for licensing exception requests, things of that nature, additional guides and content would be very beneficial, and it would take a lot of that Q&A off the TOC when we're tracking down some of these things for projects moving levels. So definitely in support of that.
Yes, and also how to contact George and Amy and not me. So in general, that's kind of the idea and vibe. I didn't want to just randomly PR in an update to the website. I wanted to get everyone's feeling, also make sure that it's a good idea, make sure that there's not something that I'm not aware of. So no, I see your hand.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I think if we're going to go in this direction, which I think seems like a positive thing, I think it seems like a good thing to add to that area. The general vibe of contribute.cncf.io right now is resources for contributors to make outbound contributions, not for resources to the contributors. It's a little bit different, and we should perhaps work a bit on the branding and the theme of what the entire site looks like if we're going to add that in, and I think that's a positive thing and we should do it.
I don't disagree. The one thing that I want to make clear is I don't want to boil multiple oceans here. I want to try and provide like a place where the CNCF can send projects to have questions answered. Here's our services and specific policies like around cloud resources and requests. Like that's short term. What I would love to make happen like before Paris. Happy to commit to that. Long term, I don't disagree. I think there's a lot more room that for like both improvement and collaboration on that. I also, again, want to get kind of step A in before we do step B. If that doesn't make sense, I am open to that. I'm just trying to focus on tiny bite-sized chunk, not the bike shed that we always love pointing at and wondering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thoughts, feelings. Again, I'm open to anything.
And I'm totally willing to live in a code owner's file to do reviews and stuff if that's if there's a concern about having to deal with more incoming content.
Yeah, George has like a dedicated screen where he just stares at GitHub and then like gets goosebumps when he sees something come in.
Little lights.
All right, I won't take up anyone else's time. We can talk about this a lot more if you want. I will hang out in Slack, but if there are no objections, I will just PR in like a section and then we can kind of bike shed how it looks there. Like I don't want to block anything. Okay,
Yeah, I
love you,
think
bye.
that's definitely a one-stop shop for like makes sense, right? Like having to look for it over the internet is always a pain, and then asking it should be all in one place.
Yeah.
I'm a project maintainer and I didn't know about this cncf.io/services for projects.
Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. We had 2 requests come into the CNCF for a service that we haven't offered for over a year because there is a markdown file in GitHub that we can edit and it wasn't updating that page. But if you Google CNCF services for projects, you go to that page. This is just like another symptom to a much larger problem that we're all trying to solve. So, yeah.
Sounds like it's super needed then.
Yeah, it's
So
needed, and I
very
think it's like kind of low effort, high reward. So
Yeah.
I'll make the PRs in like the next couple weeks, and then we can kind of talk about them in there. Thank you.
Yeah, the difficult thing is creating those assets, and they're there. It's just like linking them so they're all together, right? That's the easy
Yep.
part. And yeah, Dave, that's a good point. KubeCon canvassing.
Yeah, I just thought of it, and
everyone.
we're probably still meeting in
Yeah.
March, but yeah, that'd be worth asking. Are we going to canvas like we did the last 2 times? No, we had the booth in Amsterdam. We canvassed in Chicago.
I mean, yeah, I think we should. Who is going to be at KubeCon? Okay, good.
Just
So we
make
have
another
a-
schedule, and
So
Yeah.
we were
And we do
in-
have like the part-time booth like as a hub.
sure.
Definitely hard of hearing. Sorry, who was talking?
Yeah, so we kind of talked about this with Josh, and I think Rian was there too in one of the other working group meetings.
Okay.
So we said, yeah, we should definitely do the canvassing again, but with lessons learned from the previous one, like take more notes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is
I
anyone
think-
owning making
Yeah.
the schedule for that?
There is still time, I guess, right? So we can do that, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
my-
saying it's got to get done by the end of the meeting, but
yeah. So my thinking is like last KubeCon, we actually needed to wait until the last week to enter our names there because no one knows their availability
sure.
already.
Yeah,
So
totally.
yeah, I can go ahead and create the spreadsheet, but yeah,
Yeah, okay,
it will take
cool.
some time.
But definitely that's the best place to recruit members, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it. Anything else they wanted to discuss that is not on the agenda? So we do have a weekly social media tweaks, whatever that we're trying to do. I added a few, so we had we finally have the some of the talks on the website, and I do prefer sharing them on social media when they're on our website, so we don't send people to YouTube, we send them to our actually website where they can actually discover more stuff. So I posted a few things down there, but it's mostly focused on stuff. Well, there's one which is our maintainer track, and then 2 more that are kind of from the deaf and hard of hearing, so suggestions, but I don't know, maybe there are other things as well that we would want to promote, new resources, and if not, anyone interested in just picking one of those and post on their social channels. Your thumb up, Ali, means you want to do one?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I can post one. No worries.
Yeah, I mean, if it's our own channels, we can just post all 3 of these on LinkedIn or something.
Yeah, if we can like have one person, like, yeah, different, and then yeah, just post one, and then as usual, share it on our channel so everyone can share as well. So yeah.
Okay, I assigned one of them to me.
Good.
Do we have somebody assigned to do the Mastodon update? I know there's a few of us with access.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I think I have. I have access to the what's it called? Password1 account where that is, so I could do that.
Okay.
Would be my first time. So it's like, but I'm sure it's not difficult to figure out how it works. Probably works like any other social media platform. Yeah. Okay. So if no one has anything else, I think we can give everyone 25 minutes back, which I'm sure it's not appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks.
Well
Yeah, I'll see you.
moderated.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye-bye.